And good evening to you. Thank you for tuning in and for watching. I am First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin here with a check of the First Alert forecast, specifically to talk about the chance of some wintry weather. Yeah, some snow and ice back in the forecast for not all, but portions of North Georgia. And then we're talking about some bitter cold coming up in the forecast. So a lot of weather to talk about. I want to thank you for tuning in and for watching. If at any time you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin, and there are two platforms that are probably best to get those questions answered. One is on YouTube. So if you're streaming on YouTube, that's great. You're already there. You can simply ask your question in the kind of YouTube stream feed. I have the live chat turned on, so if anyone comments, should be able to see it pretty quickly, and maybe a couple minutes before it actually populates and I'm able to read it. But I'll try to, address those every so often and go back and forth between the stream and YouTube. Also, perhaps an even easier option is to simply just text us, 470-777-WANF. That is 470-777-9263. Keep in mind, you can also text weather to this number to get the latest forecast, or you can text photos and videos, like on a severe weather day or on, like tomorrow, a winter weather day for some. If you're watching from the mountains tomorrow, probably we'll see a little bit of sleet, a little bit of snow, and you can simply text in your videos, your photos. You may see them right here on this Atlanta News First Plus stream, or one just like it tomorrow, or on Atlanta News First. So again, it's kind of introducing how this works. If this is your first time watching Atlanta News First Plus, now I want to go ahead and talk weather. We do have a winter weather advisory in effect for a portion of North Georgia. Not all of it, but our mountain communities, we are tracking a risk of some slick travel, snow and sleet accumulating, especially on elevated surfaces, grassy surfaces, but possibly on a couple of our roadways up there, creating some slick travel, and that is why the National Weather Service will put this winter weather advisory into place by 1 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So here in about, 4 or 5 hours or so, that winter weather advisory goes into effect, and it will remain in effect until early Thursday morning, 1 a.m. Thursday, and it's possible if there's still some slick spots up there, Thursday evening as you're going to bed, they could extend that into Friday morning. This includes Rabun County, does not include Clay County, North Carolina, one of the only North Carolina counties not included, though we could see some fluctuations to this watch, or to this advisory, I should say, and we could see additional advisories issued, so just keep that in mind. We are tracking the chance of slick travel most likely in these counties shaded in this blue, this purple, but we could see some alterations to this over the next 12 to 24 hours. Snow accumulations up to 1 inch, generally above 2,500 feet. So if your home, your business, where you eat, play, work is above 2,500 feet in elevation, the chance of getting an inch of snow is a little higher. If you're lower than 2,500 feet, maybe 1,800, 1,900 to about 2,500 feet, possibly, a half inch or so of snow accumulation. And there could be, even though there is not an advisory, further to the south, Bartow County, Cobb County, Fulton County, Dawson County, Hall County, Gwinnett County, possibly even over to Banks County, Clark and Oconee counties, these areas, even in the city of Atlanta. Could be a few sleet pellets, a few snow flurries mixing in with the rain, but no accumulation and no travel issues, so no need for that winter weather advisory tomorrow. Before we walk into tomorrow's forecast, I want to take you outside right now. It's not feeling too bad this evening. Clouds are here, but visibility is fine. Again, we're looking kind of southeast-ish rather, from Atlantic Station. That's Midtown there in the foreground. You can see the Pencil Building and then the Truist Building downtown there kind of off in the distance. And you can see it all tonight because the weather's nice. It's a little chilly. Certainly could be colder this time of year, 50 degrees flat. After a high temperature today in the upper 50s, some 60 or warmer. Calm wind right now, but that wind by this time tomorrow evening will really be starting to pick up, and that's going to usher in, blow in that really, really cold weather back into the forecast tomorrow night into Thursday morning. Hour by hour forecast. Going to bring the clock back here. Let's start early Thursday morning. 2 o'clock in the morning, we're still dry. So in about 5 hours, we're still dry. There's rain, there's snow falling in Alabama, portions of Mississippi. There's already snow flying in Memphis, Tennessee, West Tennessee, and really much of the Ohio River Valley, Mississippi River Valley, and then this will move to the east and kind of encroach on our area as we get into early Wednesday morning. So here we are, 6 a.m. It is just raining in Canton according to this forecast model. I think it has the right idea, but I do think, even though you see the greens and that indicates just pure cold rain, there could still be some sleet pellets and snow flurries mixing in, especially Northwest Metro. But notice where the blues are: Chattooga County, Floyd County, Dade Walker counties, on up into Fannin County. Clay County, North Carolina. Also into Rabun County. Certainly, there could be some rain changing over to snow. Very likely that will be the case. Maybe getting some sprinkles, and then very quickly you're going to change over to that snow, and that's why you see the blue there across our northern tier of counties. Bringing this forward in time, notice 7 a.m. Also, maybe again as rain, but cooling just enough to allow a little bit of snow and possibly some sleet to mix in northwest of Carrollton and possibly into Carroll County, possibly into the Dallas area, Bartow County, Cartersville, those spots. Allison is asking, what time will the snow hit? A lot of us are not going to see any snow, Allison, just a cold rain, but we're going hour by hour in this timeline. So, Allison, commenting on YouTube, let me know what county you're in, what area you're in. We can talk about your chance of seeing snow, because a lot of us, just a cold rain. Some of us, though, our northernmost counties up along the state line, our mountain communities, have the greatest chance of seeing snow accumulate, and it's possible some snow and sleet could mix in across the metro down to about I-20, but that doesn't mean it's going to be easy to see or that you're even going to notice it through the morning tomorrow. So, Allison, just let me know where you're commenting from, where you're living, where you're streaming, and I can give you a more precise, a better answer, basically, to your question. And again, asking questions on YouTube is great, but also you can text us. 470-777-WNF. That's 470-777-9263. And if you're one of the lucky folks that does see a little bit of snow and sleet tomorrow, you can also text your photos, text your videos to that number. You may see them right here on another Atlanta News First Plus stream or on TV on Atlanta News First. Hour by hour forecast, again, a cold rain early Wednesday morning for the immediate metro. Could be a few flakes, a few sleet pellets mixing in. Greatest chance of snow is in our mountain communities, our mountain counties. And notice here, by the time we get to 9 a.m., we're going to start to warm up just a couple of degrees, and you see less blue on the map, less pink on the map, so less sleet, less snow, and more just plain cold, to put it bluntly, kind of cold rain. Sean, is Rome getting snow? Yes, I think you're going to see some snow mix in, probably changing back over to rain. There is a winter weather advisory in effect for both Floyd and Chattooga counties. Half-inch of snow if you're up to about 2,500 feet in elevation or higher, possibly up to an inch of snow. Allison, Gwinnett County, it's very unlikely you're going to see any significant snow, but you could see a couple of flakes, couple of sleet pellets mixing in with the rain. As far as when the rain starts in your area, I would say 5 to 6 a.m., in Gwinnett County, Allison. That's when the wet weather will build in, a cold rain, and again, could see a few flakes mixing in, could see a few sleet pellets mixing in with the rain, no travel issues, no accumulation. You'll be lucky to see anything, but just want to let you know, technically, could get just a little bit of a mix there in Gwinnett County. You are not under any sort of winter weather advisory, any winter weather alert. So between, 9, 10, 11 a.m., we're going to start to see the moisture move out from west to east, so some scattered activity still around 11 a.m., mostly rain by that point. As we get to noon, 1, 2 p.m., we're really starting to cut down on the rain chance, and we're seeing more and more moisture move east of North Georgia and out of the area. And then the story becomes one of cold temperatures, cold weather. By the time we get to 7, 8, 9 o'clock Wednesday evening, you can still see a little bit of pink up there, a little bit of blue, should say, up in the far North Georgia mountains, East Tennessee, and western North Carolina. That's the cold air filtering in, giving us some mountain snow showers. But for everyone else, it's just going to get downright cold and also pretty windy in the first alert forecast. Case in point, here is a forecast model with wind gusts. Those are the numbers you see. Widespread wind gusts, 20, 30, 35 miles an hour, possibly a few gusts up to about 30 miles an hour. This is just a snapshot of noon Wednesday. I would say mini wind gusts between 30 and 40 miles per hour through Thursday afternoon. That'll probably be windiest mid-morning Thursday to mid-afternoon Thursday. And then we're going to taper down that wind speed, but really pull in some very, very cold air back into the first alert forecast. As far as your travel is concerned, Wednesday morning, tomorrow morning, just wet roads from rain in metro Atlanta. Icy spots are possible in the mountains, also down into Floyd and Chattooga counties. I don't think everyone would call Rome a mountain community, but you are higher elevation, kind of foothills there, between you and Chattanooga. So Floyd County could be some slick spots as well. And then as we get into Wednesday evening, even though we're drier, where there is enough moisture on the roadways up in the mountains, we will very easily see any moisture on the roads freeze up Wednesday night. I think the roads in metro Atlanta will be able to dry out during the afternoon, but it's possible up in the mountains to the foothills we could see enough moisture on the roads to see black ice develop Wednesday evening, Wednesday night. And then Thursday morning is a little bit of a question. We're going to have some very dry, very cold air filtering in. It's possible we could have some issues lingering into Thursday morning, mainly in our far northern mountain communities. Not expecting any immediate metro travel issues tomorrow nor Thursday. Vanessa saying, this is Vanessa from Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis is getting some snow and ice. Yeah, we were just talking about Memphis actually before you joined the stream. West Tennessee getting a good little snow, and you guys had severe weather tornadoes just 24, 48 hours ago, a couple of days ago. So it's crazy how much change there can be in the world of weather. Big reason why we're not having more significant accumulation, more significant ice or travel issues tomorrow is because temperatures will be not warm, but relatively warm and safely above freezing for the vast majority of the area, so that even if you see a little bit of sleet pellet action, a few snowflakes making it down with the rain, it will be able to really, kind of melt as it makes contact with the grass, with the roads here across the city of Atlanta. We'll be in the low to mid 40s tomorrow afternoon. This is probably going to be about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the warmest point of the day, and then kind of an early tumble in that temperature in the late afternoon as some of the coldest air starts to filter in. 40 in LJ, 39 in Helen, so colder up in the mountains, but still likely to get above freezing tomorrow afternoon before the real cold moves in. Speaking of which, here's a look at forecast wind gusts. This is tomorrow night starting at 6 p.m. and going through 6 a.m. on Thursday morning, and notice how winds steadily increase overnight as the coldest of the air really starts to filter in. Yolanda H. will Buford, Georgia gets snow. Very unlikely. It's going to be a cold rain. You could have some snow flakes mixed in with the rain, maybe some sleet pellets, but nothing's going to accumulate. You're going to have to squint to see it, and you'll be lucky, Yolanda, to even see it. Don't want you to get excited. You're not under any winter weather advisory, but it's possible a few flakes, a few sleet pellets could mix in with a cold, light rain. But as far as real snow, that's going to be 20, 30, 40 miles off to your north on up into the north and northeast Georgia mountains. Northwest Georgia, higher elevations as well. And to check up your first alert 7-day forecast, the wind and the cold, the story Thursday, the reason for the first alert weather day. We're waking up to temperatures in the low to mid-20s Thursday morning. It'll feel like the single digits in the lower teens when the wind is blowing. Friday morning, we're waking up to upper teens and lower 20s. It'll feel like the single digits in the lower teens when that breeze is blowing. Case in point, here's a look at what it might feel like Thursday morning. Wind chill of 12 in Atlanta, 5 LJ, 7 Carrollton, 8 Canton, 10 Rome, 19 Eatonton, 16 in Thomaston down in Upson County. So a brutally cold Thursday morning and feeling nearly as cold on our Friday morning as well. Rebound starts Friday afternoon, still very chilly, mid-40s, low to mid-40s, probably still in the 30s up in the mountains. And then upper 20s, another free Saturday. More clouds moving in, but we're going to manage lower 50s Saturday afternoon. And Atlanta finally back above freezing for Sunday morning. And then here comes the more substantial warm-up. I think a decent weekend, 50s in the afternoons for most. Mountains may stay in the 40s, yes, but just about everyone else in the 50s. And then, yeah, we'll have some clouds, but your weekend forecast is dry. It's a 20% chance of rain on Sunday. And if anything, that has been trending down. The forecast has been trending drier and drier for Sunday, but we'll keep an eye on it for you. And then Monday back up to 63, Tuesday 68, and some areas will hit 70 degrees or back into the 70s, 72, 73, by the time we get to Tuesday afternoon, south and southeast of the city of Atlanta. So, brutally cold for a time. We have the cold, we have the rain tomorrow, wintry mix, some accumulation of snow and sleet up in the mountains, and then bitter blasts of cold air, and then we're back to much more comfortable, actually warmer than average conditions. So here is who is most likely to see some snow and sleet accumulation tomorrow, and maybe some slick roadways from Floyd County, Chattooga County, over to Calhoun, up to Dalton, up into Gilmer County, also Fannin County, including Blue Ridge, also Dawson County, Lumpkin County, White Union counties, not including Clay County, North Carolina at this time. And then Rabun County, Georgia, up in and around Clayton, Lake Rabun, Lake Burton. Suzanne saying, let's all just fast forward to midday. I'm tired of the cold temps. I hope you're able to get out and enjoy the 70s we had, for a span several days ago. I know this week we're kind of snapping back to reality, and it will be really, really cold the next couple of days. But I do promise that there is more warmth in the forecast, at least for a time, Suzanne, as we get into to next week. Allison, wouldn't mind the snow. I know. Some agree, some might disagree. We don't want travel woes. We don't want kiddos, students to miss any more school, though. Some are on winter break. Coincidentally, APS, Atlanta Public Schools are certainly, but wouldn't want any huge travel snarls. But hey, if it was above freezing and it was falling and it was just sticking on the grass and roads were fine, I think that's kind of the ideal event. And some up in the mountains may have that threshold. Still can't rule out some slick spots, but temperature's not all that cold, at least tomorrow morning. But it's possible there could be some slick spots up in the mountains, say higher elevations, the foothills. And for the rest of us, mainly just a cold rain, but could see a few snowflakes mixing in, and could see a few sleet pellets mixing in as well. Suzanne just recommented again, the fast forward to mid-May. Yeah, mid-May, that's when you can really, well, even late April, but certainly by mid-May, it's warm, and it's getting warmer out there. Kind of hot at sometimes at points, depending on the year by that point. But yeah, the good news, Suzanne, it is going to warm back up next week. We're going to be back in the upper 60s, lower 70s as we get into next Monday and Tuesday. So this blast of cold air really won't last all that long. So good news for you there in the first alert forecast. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and for watching. I want to leave you with a gorgeous view outside. Looks like the comments, the questions slowing down just a bit. Reminder, though, we're not leaving you. We do actually have one final question here coming in, so I'll pop it back up. This was texted in. What time should Metro Atlanta be prepare to be off the road? This is not going to be an issue for Metro Atlanta. No road issues for Metro Atlanta. We could see a few snowflakes. Could see a few sleet pellets. Temperatures will be in the upper 30s and 40s through the majority of the day tomorrow, maybe mid to upper 30s. Only the higher elevations are going to fall at or below freezing, and even for them, not bitter cold. This is not a huge travel issue for Metro Atlanta, but it's possible you could see some flakes and some sleet pellets mixing in with just a plain old cold rain. So a wet roadway tomorrow, but not an icy roadway tomorrow morning in Atlanta. And again, if you guys have any questions, you can always reach out to me on social media. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin, here to always give you an update on the forecast on X, on Threads, on Instagram, on Facebook. All the apps were there. Not just myself, but also First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez, First Alert Meteorologist Ella Dorsey, Patrick Pete, Rodney Harris, Courtney Jacobazzi, JD Disharoon, all here to help keep you updated and informed. Winter weather or any kind of weather, give us a holler. In fact, First Alert Meteorologist Patrick Pete just a few moments ago put an updated video forecast in the First Alert weather app, and he'll be back on tonight. I'll see you tonight at 10, Atlanta News First on Peachtree TV, Atlanta CW, and then he'll have your full First Alert forecast tonight on WANF starting at 11 p.m. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Stay warm. We'll keep you updated.